What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the P-Bandai high-grade Gundam Unit 4 from Mobile Suit Gundam Space to the End of a Flash. Now, this thing right here, I really love the looks of it. The color separation is very good, apart from the V on the crotch, which is a sticker. But other than that, and the decals that I use on the shoulders and the chest, you only get the eyes and the sensors on the head for the stickers. Everything else is basically plastic. I really like the white backpack and also the boosters. The boosters, I'm still on the fence about. However, I can still just remove the fuel tanks and also the shoulder armor to create the normal mode. But anyways, I really love the looks of this, and I really cannot wait for the eventual P-Bandai high-grade Gundam Unit 5. Now, I really like the blue, and especially the blue beam saber handles. This thing just looks very good. But on the inside is still the Gundam Mudrock, so I already know what to expect from this thing. But all in all, this thing, for the price it is, the looks really do pay off. Now, before I do anything else, let me show you how to transform this thing to the normal mode. It's very simple. You do not need to swap out any parts. It's just basically the removal of the shoulder armor like so, and do the same for the other one. It's very tight because these blue opening pieces are clips, so they can clip onto the armor and then they will not go anywhere. And then basically close the top pieces up and then shift the bottom pieces up. And then on the backpack, you just remove the tanks over here. If I could actually remove them, and that's the other gun. So here we have the Gundam Unit 4 in the normal mode, and I have to say I'm not really too big of a fan of the normal mode because it's just so bulky on the rest of the body, and you do have just the shoulders. Although I really like the removal of the tanks because I'm not really too big of a fan of them, yet still they're growing on me, bear with me on that. But it takes up less space towards the back, but the shoulders already lack their oomph from when the shoulder armor is equipped, so not really too big of a fan of this mode, but to each their own. So for articulation, this thing is basically the same as the Mudrock. So a double ball jointed head, you can do the funky chicken on that. The arms, they can rotate, they can pop out like so. The arms can raise up that far. But yes, due to the armor, it is a little bit hindered, but I'm not really too bothered about that. There's a rotation above the elbow, bend at the elbow at 2 joints, but if you rotate the forearm, then bend the elbow, just like the Mudrock Gundam, you'll get the full bend. That's pretty nice. And evidently, the forearm can actually rotate. The wrists are on ball joints. The waist, it is on a ball joint over here. You could do a little bit of crunching, that's pretty good. Front skirts can mold it together, side skirts can rotate and move up. Back skirts are a block. And then the legs, they have the funky dance mechanic. And they can go forwards, go backwards, go outwards, all the way almost. Rotation at the hip, a double jointed knee, looking pretty good. And then the ankle armor over here, it can move up and down. And then the feet, they can go forwards and back, side to side, rotate, and that's basically it. So the articulation on the Unit 4 is pretty good. It's on par with the Mudrock. So yeah, despite this thing being as bulky as it is, it can still really pull off some great movements. Accessories, so you have the generic Gundam loadouts. But first of all, let's talk about the beam sabers. The beam sabers are mounted onto the backpack. Yeah, they're just the same beam sabers molded in the blue plastic. And the kit does come with 2 SB13 beams, so you can mount it onto the beam saber handle and let it use the beam sabers. And next up, we do have the Hyper Beam Rifle. Now, I think this thing is from the Pale Rider. Not really too sure about that, but yeah, this thing does look pretty okay. It looks similar to the Granddaddy's beam rifle. However, the scope over here is a full sticker. Now, there are 2 stickers for the scope. Now, the scopes for the previous rifles are molded in plastic, so why on earth they decided to go for stickers for this one is baffling me. So there's a little bit of a letdown there, but the scope and the support handle can move. And you do get a trigger finger hand for the Gundam. You basically separate the hand, and this is what I don't like about it again. This is the type of hand that I really do not like. But since the beam rifle is a light one, it can hold the beam rifle up, no problem, without prying open the handle. That is pretty good. Next up, we do have the shield right here. The shield itself is a very disappointing piece of art because look at this. The entire shield is molded in white, and all of this blue details on the shield are a sticker. So in total, there are 6 pieces of stickers for the shield. Now, of course, the strut over here and also the mounting unit is molded in the plastic, and also I did use the decal on here. Thoroughbred. What does that mean? I had never played the game, so I don't know, but it's a disappointing fact that this thing does not have good color separation in the accessories. Now, this looks similar to the Mark II shield, so why they can't use the same or similar type of engineering, I am not sure. But this thing does use ball joints, and it does have one on the side and one on the back. However, the one thing about this thing is, it's a polycap in there. So you can actually use this on other shield connectors that have a 3mm peg. So even though the shield is using ball joints, which does give you adjustability, you can still use it on other kits, which is very, very nice. So you can just mount it onto either of the forearm holes, just like so, and you can adjust the shield according to your liking. So the only disappointing fact is the shield does not have any color separation. Now, let's move on to the signature weapon, the Mega Beam Launcher right here. So this thing does actually come with a red wire, and every single color wrap on the rifle over here, except for the scope, is a plastic piece, which is really, really nice. It is phenomenal color separation. Of course, the pipe over here needs to be painted red, but that's another story. They couldn't possibly mold that in, but the major details on the rifle are all molded in plastic. Looks very, very nice. No scopes can be moved, but there's a support handle over here that can be moved. So, how do you mount this on? Now, you have to remove the backpack, and then you just plug the energy pack over here into the back like so. And then you just feed the pipe, or the energy transfer wire to the back over here, and it just remounts the backpack. Don't you worry, it doesn't fall. It doesn't cause any issues on the structural integrity or anything, but it is a little bit of a pain to actually get this to work initially. So what I advise you to do is to feed the wire through the bottom over here, and then just plug the backpack right back onto the back of the Gundam, just like so. And then the wire is not really too solid, so it does tend to dislodge from the rifle from time to time, so take note of that. So if you do not want the Gundam to actually use it, there is a storage unit over here. So you can just plug the pegs into the storage unit over here so that the rifle could be stored for future use, which is really, really nice. And if you wanted to hold it, of course, you just dislodge it from here and then feed the wire under the armpit. Although yes, the wire is a little bit loose in the hole here, but luckily the wire is not required to hold anything up. So just do the same process by splitting the hand and letting it hold it, and here you go. It is holding the Mega Beam Launcher, the main sniper rifle of the RX-78-4. But the one issue that this thing causes is that the wire hinders the range of movement. So when you're trying to move around, the rifle may accidentally be tugged on by the wire, and the hand may split, and maybe you'll lose the parts for the hand. So yeah, be careful with the rifle, but all in all, this thing is a pretty awesome looking rifle. This thing does have a pretty plentiful arsenal apart from the generic Gundam loadout. So that's going to be all the accessories for the RX-78-4. Before the comparison section, there are 2 leftover pieces. First of all is this thing, a pseudo polycap. So if you need any replacements, you can definitely rip one from the RX-78-4 and use it. Second of all is another trigger finger hand. So I do not know why this is here. Maybe because the frame was molded in a different color. This is from the Mudrock plate, by the way. So I'm not sure why they included another one without a hand cover. But if you, for some reason, actually lost some parts of the trigger finger hand, maybe this thing would come in handy. So for comparisons, of course, I will have to bring in the other 2 variants of the Gundam that I actually have. So first of all, it's going to be the RX-78-6, aka Mudrock. And then it is going to be the RX-78-2. So that's going to wrap it up for the RX-78-4 review. So the cons first, the weapons could have been better. The yellow scope on the beam rifle could have been molded in. At least the middle 2 pieces of the shield could have been molded in blue plastic. and of course the V on the crotch, but that's a joke by now. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for all the cons, because all I have left are pros. The articulation is amazing, the look looks fantastic, I like the uniqueness of the blue beam sabers and also the color separation on the gigantic mega beam launcher, and of course I do like the process of converting this thing from the BST form to the normal form and back. And of course, I do like the shield again. Yeah, I do not like the color separation on it, but the mechanics of the shield are actually pretty good. You do get the best of both worlds, ball jointed shields and compatibility. That's pretty good. So overall, I will give this thing a 7 out of 10. Like I said, the weapons are the only limiting factor of this thing getting a higher mark. But if you do somehow find a deal for this thing, or if you see it in model shops somehow, go ahead and pick it up. So that's gonna wrap it up for me, and I have high hopes for the inevitable RX 78.5. That's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.